Looking for something to read? Well, these are the books that I've written. Hop on down to the description to find the Amazon links for all 4 of them, and keep your eyes open for more in the future. With that said, on to the video. Well, here we are, at the ending. Or should I say non-ending, because that didn't actually wrap anything up at all. Yeah, this is just right back to basics. I thought the previous episode, episode 7, was a genuinely good episode. Not an amazing episode, but certainly the best of this whole slog. But episode 8 is right back to the general routine, because we are now once again with the irritating characters that I do not like and cannot stand listening to, and most of the focus is on little Orphan Annie. Once again, she displays incredible narcissism, because when her mother is trying to get her not to follow through with this terrible plan to lure Kong into the ocean to fight the squid, she's once again displaying like no sort of concern at all, not looking at her mother and feeling any sort of empathy. She says that cringy "I am the giant monster" line, which is just as bad in context as it was in the trailer. And then when she finally appears to be having a heart-to-heart with her mother, her question is to ask how old she is. Annie just wants to know something about herself. Once again, her focus is entirely on number 1. Why do people like her? I really don't get it. She is one of the least likable characters in this whole show. In the whole monsterverse, certainly. And look, you can accuse me of sexism if you want. Bear in mind, I think she's terrible because she is a jerk to everyone, including her mother, who I'm pretty sure is also a woman. So you can't exactly say that I'm drawing a line between men and women, because she isn't either. As far as Annie is concerned, she is superior and everyone else can go suck an egg or something else. And yet she is in focus for most of this darn thing. I'm almost kind of happy that the episode ends the way it does, with her not only holed up in a hospital, but also away from all the stuff she wanted, because I do not want her to succeed. I don't want her to achieve her goals. That's how much I don't like her. And yet, Netflix clearly wants me to like her. The showrunners clearly want me to like her. Her image is the one that you will find right now prominently displayed when you look up Skull Island streaming on Netflix. Apparently she is the main focus, not Kong. Forget about him. What is this, a King Kong story or something? This is Annie's show. Ugh. And even worse, the one instance where it seems like she might start to feel empathy for something other than herself and Dog, but I mean, she's been with Dog for a while, and I think she just views him as an extension of herself. She's just about to apologize to Kong when suddenly she gets interrupted. So the closest thing she ever gets to feeling true empathy for another creature is not even allowed to play out. Can't have that, apparently. Speaking of which, can we talk about how Kong had to kill that stupid squid 3 times? The design is okay. I guess the rivalry they set up about how they're kind of taunting each other from their own safe havens, but the only way they're going to settle this is if one ventures into the other's territory. That was okay, but I mean, having Kong need to kill it 3 times, that was excessive. Normally, Kong is the kind of monster who, if he's gonna kill you, he kills you right away. A monster or a dinosaur or whatever King Kong usually goes up against is taken care of, not necessarily quickly, but when Kong wins, he definitively wins. Having the squid get a second wind after the first defeat, where he just kind of sinks and is bleeding, having him reemerge after that, okay, I can see that being sort of a interesting surprise for him to just finally make sure the thing is dead. But then it happens a 3rd time. I'm like, come on, Let it end. And it seems like the only reason that they had the squid come back a third time was to contrive that ending. Or should I say that cliffhanger. There's a lot of stuff that's left dangling. I assume everyone got off the island, but we don't know how Charlie got away from the iwis who can suddenly talk, if those even are the iwis, and if he even got away. We don't know if Mike survived. We don't know where everyone else is. All we know is that Annie and her mother somehow made it off, and it's been 2 weeks. And I know what everyone's going to say. Set up for season 2. Yes, I get it. And unlike Godzilla Singular Point, which still has not announced anything on that front, there is probably going to be a second season of this, because ordering 2 seasons of a series, no matter how long the seasons are, generally is the standard practice for this kind of thing, especially on Netflix. For all I know, they might have just ordered a particular set of episodes and split it into 2 seasons at some point in that set. I don't know. Whatever the case, it's still not an ending to the series. And considering what a drag it all was, I am kind of frustrated that they didn't at least give us something more of a solid conclusion, other than having Kong kill the squid, which, again, could have played out much better. It's an okay fight, but it's nothing to write home about. And it seems we have another continuity error. One of the last injuries the squid inflicts upon Kong is to take out one of his eyes, which, given that Kong does not have super regenerative abilities, that's a pretty permanent thing, and yet we know he has both eyes by the time Godzilla vs. Kong rolls around. Heck, we know he has both eyes by the time we get to Skull Island, the birth of Kong. So how are they going to explain that? It sure looked like he got him right in the eye. Are they going to pull a Thor Rocket Raccoon thing where they literally pull the solution out of their butts and suddenly he has a new eye again? It just... 8 episodes, 1 good episode. That is not the ratio we should ever have in any season. We should not have only 1 good episode amidst a sea of not good ones. You know what? I don't even have anything else to say. The show was a disappointment. It's only fitting that it ended just as disappointing. And thank the Lord in heaven that it's over. If there is a second season, nuts to it. I'm not going to be coming back for it. I've seen this thing. I have no reason to believe that a second season would be any better. Forget it. This is over. I feel like this show is just a huge waste of time. If you haven't seen it yet, I really cannot recommend anything else more to you than watching Skull Island. Watch some other show. Watch some other movie. Read a good book. This show is not worth it. If you're really curious, watch episode 7 and then stop as soon as you hear dialogue that's in English. That's all you need to see. That's all I wish I had seen. And yeah, well, I'm not even gonna bother trying to pad this out anymore, so I'm finally gonna move on to other projects now. So yeah, that's it. Show's over. Good night. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see us keep doing what we're doing, you might consider doing all the usual YouTube things, as well as hopping down to the description to find links to DeviantArt, Patreon, Twitter, and links for the different books in the Tales from the Omni Vault universe. Your support is naturally appreciated. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.